Let's zoom out. This is the final episode in this series, so let's review it all. None of these things work as four separate ideas. If you treat it like this, sometimes I anchor, sometimes I think about agency, I try to be authentic, then you're going to get inconsistent results. Because this is not a menu, it's a sequence. And most breakdowns in leadership are mechanical. Something went wrong, predictably, you skipped a step, so let's walk through it cleanly. Anchor, agency, alliance, authenticity. That's the system. And if you want to understand why something didn't work, you don't need a personality test. You just need to ask, where did the sequence break? It's always something in the sequence. You skipped anchor, so you reacted. You called it being direct or being honest, but you just failed to regulate. So your delivery was off, your timing was off, your judgment was off, and everything downstream pays for it. You skip agency. Now you drift. You wait, you avoid, you explain. You tell yourself, I'll deal with it later, but later never comes. You skip alliance. Now you're isolated. You pushed your point, you avoided the conversation, you created compliance without any commitment. And now nothing actually moves. If you skip authenticity, now you compromise. You make the easy call. You bend the standards. You tell yourself that, this one time it's okay. And just like that, you move slightly off of who you said you are. That's how this works. Gradual drift eventually turns into something obvious. So let's shift. Stop asking, what's the right move? And start asking, where am I in the sequence? Because if you're not anchored, there is no right move. If you haven't taken agency, you're not choosing anything. And if you're not thinking about alliance, you're not moving forward. If you're not aligned with authenticity, something is eroding. There's your diagnostic. Let's try tying it to something bigger, because this is not just a communication tool. It can be a way of operating in the world. So if we tie this to adaptive strategy design that we teach, adaptive strategy design is not about predicting the future. It's about navigating reality, adapting over time. This sequence that we've just learned about is basically a micro version of that. Anchor is awareness of your current state, what's happening right now. Agency is a decision point. What are we going to do with this? Alliance is execution with your team. And then authenticity is alignment with core values. You might say it's a loop, kind of like ASD. And you don't just run it once. You run it repeatedly, deliberately, moment to moment, conversation to conversation, decision to decision. It's your real-time OODA loop. How about leadership, or above average leadership in our case? It's not about being impressive. It's about being consistent under pressure. So things like abandon your ego, that's anchor. Stay curious, that's alliance. And walk your talk, that's authenticity. The sequence is how these principles show up as behaviors. And how about the above average team member concept that we've talked about? You want a high functioning team? They probably don't need more rules. They need better individual regulation and interaction. That is how you build the culture of your dreams. Not through posters, not more meetings, but repeated behavior across people over time. That's it. So let's bring it back to you, because frameworks are easy to agree with. Oh yeah, sounds great. But they're hard to apply. So here's your challenge. Don't try to remember all of this. Just use it once. Today, perhaps. When something feels off, pause. Ask yourself, where am I in the sequence? Am I reacting instead of anchoring, avoiding instead of choosing, trying to win instead of the next move forward? Am I making an exception instead of staying aligned? Question it. That's enough to start with, because it interrupts the pattern that you're in. An interruption is where change can start. And then run the sequence: anchor, agency, align, authenticity. Because over time, this is going to do something subtle and powerful. It's going to change your identity. You become someone who doesn't get pulled off center easily, who makes decisions instead of excuses, who works with people instead of against them, and who actually lives what they say matters. And when that happens, other people are going to notice because they're experiencing it. And that's the whole game. Anchor yourself, choose your move, work with people, stay aligned. Repeat that long enough, you become someone that others trust in difficult moments. And in leadership, that's everything.